everybody, it's your girl Gingy here, and welcome to my channel Ginger Books, or welcome back if you're a continuing watcher or subscriber. So as you can tell by the title, I do have a little bit of explaining to do because, well, you know, I've been kinda MIA the last 2 weeks. And there's hardly been any vlogs coming out. We'll get into that. So as you can tell from the title, the first part that we're going to talk about is the changes to the channel. As I said before in my January goals for 2023, I've been wanting to figure out and really just narrow down what schedule works for me. Tuesdays and Thursdays seems to be working for me, but it's not consistent, which is fine because I don't want to be consistent in just pushing out content that I'm not enjoying filming or editing and just trying to hurry up and push it out there. So, but I feel like it's still feeling that way, even when I'm not uploading really consistently or trying to. So I've decided to come up with a plan, and I kind of took advice from other YouTubers who also do this too because they found out it works for them. So I'm wondering if it'll work for me. And I'm going to take the last week of every month off to plan, film, and edit. So that during the month, content is coming out that I actually enjoy. You know, I have had taken the time to plan, film, and edit instead of feeling like I'm rushed every time. Like on a Monday, I feel rushed, and that's what's kind of happened. Or on a Wednesday and feel rushed to get content out. So we're going to do that. I'm going to try that. So there's going to be at least 1 week where there's not going to be any content. So at the last week of the month, so just planning ahead, from May 28th through June 4th, there will be no content that week. Just because I will be planning June's content. So with that as well, that means I will be planning videos ahead. So you may see me in the same clothes, or I will try to film them throughout the week where it looks like I do change my clothes. Just because I feel like that's kind of a dead giveaway that they've been planned ahead, but even though I am telling you, so you guys will know. And with that, I know that we need to get away from the book tags. Like, that is I'm starting to become bored of them. I'm running out of ideas, and I feel like giving myself a week to actually plan and create something, whether it be original or just taking inspiration from others to kind of mold into my own as well. And of course, giving them credit for it. So that is what's happening so that we can upload every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And who knows, maybe even Mondays. I may switch it to Mondays and Thursdays because it originally was on the channel if I do this. So of course, we're going to keep the Sims opposite of vlogs. So vlogs will stay on Thursdays. And of course, it's long waited overdue. I said I was doing the Magical Readathon Orilium Spring Equinox 2023, and that's happening technically during April. Well, we're just going to continue it on until we finish it because I'm not going to put that much stress on myself to try to complete books because, again, if I'm forcing myself to read, I'm not going to want to read any more than, well, kind of like being forced to in school. So, anyways, those are the changes coming to the channel. Thank you for bearing with me and sticking with me with trying to figure out what works for me, especially with my personal life and work life, as they kind of ramp up and get a little busy and hectic during spring, summer, and fall season. So now on to the second portion of this video, which is the Magical Readathon recap. So as I said, we are going to continue it until the fall equinox. I am not going to put a deadline on myself because, again, that's just going to stress me out. It's not going to make me want to do it. And it's also going to make me turn away from reading and turn into a reading slump. So we're just going to try to complete it at least by fall. I think it's like September, I think is when the fall equinox is supposed to be. So with that, I wanted to show you guys that I do have a new reading journal, and reason why is because all my Magical Readathon Orilium Spring Equinox spread is in here. I decided to go with a bigger journal because I just feel like trying to use a small one has been kind of hard for me, if I have to say. So this actually used to be my YouTube journal where I kept like track of like my edits and stuff and what I want to keep in the videos, and my planning and tracker for that. But instead now it is my 2023 reading journal spread. The first one, and I did take, and I'm going to put down in the description below, I took heavily influence from Mabel Journals off of Instagram. Love their spreads and what they do. And so I took some inspiration from that of what I would love to see tracked in my bullet journal. I didn't do a complete carbon copy of her spreads just because they track things that I just don't feel like I should track. So the bookshelf is back, which is kind of a standard thing. I have not filled it out yet, even though I have read books. I do need to fill that out. Probably will do that this week. One idea I took from Mabel Journals, and I kind of like it, is the annotation guide. So instead of having a sticky note at the beginning of every book, I actually have it in the bullet journal, in which what tab represents. Now, I do have those color tabs that kind of go with an aesthetic or a color or a feel of the book. And of course, when I use those, I will put a guide at the front of what colors I use, and what they represent. I also put my 2023 review system. This is the review system I'll use this year. It could change from year to year. That's why I'm putting the year on there. What book makes a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, and then of course I put 2 and 1 together because I would feel the same way regardless. It's just maybe it was a little bit better than a 1-star. Another idea I took from Mabel Journals is the genre tracker. I do actually want to keep track of genres that I read to see what I predominantly read. I always think I read more, high fantasy, supernatural fantasy, but we will see. So I have each genre has a color. I have romance, mystery, thriller, horror, nonfiction, YA contemporary, adult contemporary, fantasy, poetry, historical fiction, anime, and sci-fi. Romance is this kind of like lavender purple. Nonfiction is this like kind of dark, deep bronze brown color. And of course, I've already read 2 of those. Now, I'm only tracking right now. Actually, I should probably put the books I have read this year in that. May need to edit that. Also, what I liked what Mabel Journals did is keeping track of the duologies, trilogies, and series that they read. I like to keep track of this because I want to see actually if I finish them or not. I have a really bad issue of not finishing duologies, trilogies, or series. Even if I liked them, I somehow just get bored and go on to other books and forget to finish them. So now, of course, we go to the April spreads. Now, I don't have this is April 2023 kind of like spread to introduction. I don't know. I just didn't feel creative enough to do that. So, but maybe we'll get more creative as the months go on. So I have April 2023 days read tracker. So these are the days read, and I'm corresponding them with the genre book I'm reading at the time. So that's what this is, as well as my pages read corresponding with the book I'm reading, or genre I'm reading. Okay, so that leads us to the Magical Readathon Spring 2023 spreads. So I only have 2. Again, they're just kind of like lists and bullet point lists. I just didn't know what to do, and I was feeling creative, but not really enough to create these spreads. So maybe I should have waited, but it's fine with me. Sometimes I just like the plain Jane spreads. Callings, I am Godseer, Necromancy, and Demonologist. These are all of the classes I have to complete, and I've already completed 2, as well as what the prompts are for them. Then I have them out here on a table so that I have the books that I want to read and what prompts they're going to satisfy. So I have already read Unmentionables by Teresa O'Neill, which completed the animal studies, heads or tails, flip a coin, heads, nonfiction, tails, fiction. I read that, started that technically in March, so I was trying to get ahead and finished that April 1st, and I was, again, supposed to complete animal studies. And of course, I got heads, so I got nonfiction. That's why I read it. If you guys would like a review of that book, I will have to put a disclaimer because it does have content that may not be suitable for a younger audience, just because it does talk about Victorians' views and how they got around women's, bodily functions, so menstruation, how a man and a woman viewed reproduction, marriage, and manners. So there's some, let's just say, topics that are not really suitable for the younger audience. So that's why I've been on the fence of doing a review of that, like an in-depth review of it or not. But if you would like to see that, I will be checking comments throughout the month, and maybe in May we may have a review of that book. So just let me know down in the comments below if you would like to see my thoughts and why I liked it. It was a 5 out of 5 stars for me, just because I love Teresa O'Neill's satiric humor while kind of transporting yourself back in time to Victorian history, in the Victorian era. So I did really enjoy the book, and I have read another book by her called The Ungovernable, which is all about child raising in the Victorian era too. So I also have completed After by Anna Todd, which is book 1 in the After series. Read that from April 1st to April 15th, and that completed The Inscription, which is Glyph Flight, book from highest shelf, which it is technically on my highest shelf in my room, but I did read it on my Kindle Scribe, which that's another change that we should talk about, and I will go get after this. Now, currently the book that I am reading is the Inheritance Games series book 1, The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I started that on April 15th, and I was going to complete Demonology, which is type impersonator's book compared to favorite. And this one was compared, if you really enjoyed the Stalking Jack the Ripper book by Carrie Maniscalco, or the series, you would like the Inheritance Game series. Really excited to start that. I also, if you notice and you zoomed in, I did start Chain of Gold in March, and it's supposed to help with the one name I cannot pronounce. It starts with a P and deviation, Cloud Study 101, clouds on the cover or title. Yes. You saw that correctly. I am enjoying that, but I don't know why. I just stopped reading it. And I think it's because once I got my Kindle Scribe, which was in March, I stopped reading it because I wanted to read on my Kindle Scribe. But anyways, and you also saw the books that we will be hitting up. This is my tentative TBR. So we'll be reading The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I was supposed to read that this month to follow the Literally Dead book club that, why am I blanking on her name? Kayla created, and I will link that down below if you want to go check that out on Instagram and YouTube. Also, Court of Silver Flame, which is supposed to complete Lore, which is Legend of Dia, book with a map. I figured I have not reread A Court of Silver Flame, so I think it's a time by Sarah J. Maas. Oh, and then the Writing Retreat covers Astronomy and Restoration, which Astronomy is the eclipse effect, 2 E's in the title, and Astronomy, Restoration, which is Occult Cures, Close Your Eyes, Shuffle, and Point, which is one of the books I kind of did that, except I had it on a screen, and I just closed my eyes, pushed a button, and it was there. So, Curse of the Wolf King by Tisonia Odetta. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it. Shapeshifting, which is from Wolf on cover, title, author, or author's name, which there is, I believe, a wolf there's a wolf in the title. I just kind of started going through Goodreads to figure out how to complete that, because I don't really have a lot of books that have a wolf in the cover or the title. So, actually, I don't have any, I don't think. And then Scythe, book 1 by Neil Schusterman, which is supposed to help with spells and incantations, which magic missiles, length 389 to 465 pages. That was the second hardest one to find a book that fit the prompt. Like, wow. Oh, and Chain of Gold also completes Elemental Studies and Conjuration, which Elementary Studies, Botanic something. I abbreviated that, and I should not have. Flowers on the cover, which it does have. And then Conjuration, which is spirit binding spells recommended by a friend, which technically the whole series, like Chronicles, was recommended by a friend to read, so I'm going by that. Just loosely. Now, the other changes to the channel is that you will see me probably slowly start to read more ebooks, because, okay, so one thing I wanted to do, especially since there's big things coming and changes in my life coming, I wanted to find a better way to read books without having to have the physical copies all the time, because, well, you can see how a disaster my shelf is behind me. I am running out of space, and I would love to dive more into ebooks, but what really is kind of a hassle with ebooks, just like physical books, is that, my little paperweight does its job when I'm on the go, but I would really love to write notes and make annotations on it, but it's kind of hard to do that when you have to carry a journal and pens and stuff around with you. And I wanted something that I could write notes on and keep everything in one thing. So that's why I decided, after watching Alyssa Reed's and her view of the Kindle Scribe, I decided I wanted to decide to splurge a little bit to have something that I can have on the go with me or at home, be able to take notes and highlight and have journals and notebooks as well as on each book. So that's what I did. So I purchased the Kindle Scribe. Now, of course, everybody's just like, well, you're not really saving money, because if you know the price tag on the Kindle Scribe, but I feel like over time I'm going to, just because I'll be buying more ebooks, which 9 times out of 10, the ebooks are a little bit cheaper than even the paperback. Now, of course, if I really love the book, I am going to get a physical copy, but that's only if it was like a 5-star. If it's anything less than a 5-star, I probably will not get it. So I decided to get the Kindle Scribe. I did, and it comes with like a little stylus pen, and I got a clear case for it and decided to decorate with Star Wars stickers because it's, you know, something that brings me joy and happy is Star Wars. So, and I also got it, it's a little bit bigger. It's supposed to be like a 14-inch laptop case, or notebook case, but something for it to go in as well as so I can carry the charger. Plus, if I decide that I do also want to read a physical book while I'm at it, I can put my journal and some utensils inside the bag too as well. That is it for the video today. Thank you so much for coming along this chaotic journey as I'm trying to figure out and balance everything. I'm really working at it this year so that I am not as stressed, because I've noticed over the last couple of years I have been stressed a lot. So thank you so much for watching. If you did like what you saw and want to stick around for more, if you happen upon this video, hit that subscribe button, that bell notification so you are notified. I post every Tuesdays and Thursdays with fun, bookish content and Sims content. I hope everybody has a great start to their week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!